Hi everybody, my name is Thad Rankin. I am a real estate agent in southeastern Wisconsin. I work for Shore West Realtors and they are a full service brokerage. I emphasize that fact because today I wanted to talk to you guys about discount brokers. And I see this a lot, especially in this market where we're coming out of the coronavirus pandemic that's kind of haunted us all, and we're all trying to save a buck these days. And so someone's going to sell their home and they want to make as much money as possible, and that's completely understandable. And so what do? What is the first thing they look at when they go to list their home on the market is when they're interviewing realtors and brokerages. And if they see one realtor who's a discount realtor offering maybe a 4% or a 5% commission rate, and they're saying they'll do the same thing for a full service realtor at 6% on up, whatever that might be, it seems very simple to them. Well, I'm going to go with the lower rate, right? Because that'll make me more money in the end. And that's actually not always the case, okay? And so we're going to look at a little bit of math today. I want to show you guys, just based on averages, kind of how that might not work out the way you think it will. And another thing I want to tell you guys about discount brokers, right? So discount brokers, agents that work for them, they make up in volume, basically they have to make up in volume what they're giving up in per sale commission, right? That's just to keep themselves in business because they're working at a lower rate. And so they're taking on more transactions, to meet that quota that a full service at maybe 6% wouldn't have to take on as many, right? Just saying, to meet the same quota. Now, the first thing I want to tell you about discount brokers is an agent for a discount broker. You can look at their 4%, 5% commission rate and know that they have to make up in volume what they're missing out in per sale commission, right? That's just to keep themselves in business because they're making less money. That's true. The brokerage in and of itself is making less money off of that transaction than a full service based on that commission rate. That's correct. But think about it, with that larger volume, they're potentially taking on much more in transactions that gives them less time to focus on your transaction or any one transaction, if that makes sense. They have to stay extra busy. Something to consider there. But I consider that less of a factor in who you decide to work with than focusing on that commission rate. Okay, so commission rate in and of itself really doesn't mean anything, okay? So 4%, 5%, 6%, those are numbers. You're gonna apply them to whatever you're gonna list at, but you don't know what the home's gonna sell at. You don't know how many days on the market, etc. And all those things play a part in what that commission rate actually ends up being after it's all tied into the math, right? So we're going to kind of go through the math today real quick here. And I know everybody loves math. Math is fun. I'm horrible at math, but I did some of this stuff in advance. Okay, so we'll start right off. What I'm going to do with you guys today is I'm going to compare the office that I work with, Shore West in Waukesha. I'm going to show you our list to sale price averages and day on market average, and I'm going to compare those to the rest of Metro MLS here in Milwaukee. So you can kind of see a comparison, a side-by-side comparison, and we're going to let Metro MLS play the part of discount brokerage in this scenario just to get my point across. So we'll get started. All right, if you can see my board here, hopefully you guys can read this. The top row here, this is going to be MLS stats, and the bottom here is going to be my office, Waukesha West. And I'm going to give you actual numbers here from both of those averages that were reported. So for Metro MLS from January 1st of 2020 through to May 31st of this year, so we're just past that as of today. We're in June. So Metro MLS was 97.95%, okay? That was their average list to sale price, okay? So if they were gonna list a home for $100,000, then the home on average is going to sell for $97,950. Okay. Yeah, average days on market for our MLS here is 60 days. All right. And then I'll go with Shore West. So Shore West right now, for that same period in the beginning of 2020 here, from January 1st to May 31st, was 102.44%. I know my writing is horrible, so even if you can read this, you probably don't know what the heck I'm writing. I'm like scribbling all over the place. I apologize for that. Average days on market, we were at, I believe it's 27. Okay. So those are good numbers. And that is a high number of transactions. We have over 30 agents in our office right now. We are a very successful office. But I will try not to be biased here. I'm just taking the averages. So let's say that we were going to list a home for $250,000, and MLS is going to be they're going to be a 5% discount broker, okay? And Shore West, since we're full service, we're going to do ours at 6%. So those are the numbers we're going to use. So using that number, $250,000, if the 5% discount broker listed it and had 97.95% average list to sale price, it would, use the right colors here, that would come out to $244, $875, I think it was. All right. So at that rate, it would have sold for $244,875. Shore West at 102.44% list to sale ratio. That would sell for a $250,000 home. It would come out to $256,100. All right, stay with me here. So, discount realtor sold your home, whoever's home, for $244,875. Shore West, $256,100. Moving on, we're gonna go ahead and subtract commissions, right? So at 5% on Metro MLS, their commissions would have came out to $12,220. And so you take that from the total $232,655. All right. So let's just say $232,655 after commissions are taken out for a discount broker. That's at 5%. Shore West at 6%, using these averages, would come out to, our commission would be $15,366. After you take that out of the total, it's $240 and $734. Okay. All right, comparing the two, it's already obvious, right? You went with the 5% broker, you listed your home for $250,000, and you were hoping to save some money at the end. You ended up at the closing table getting $232,655 back. You used a full service brokerage, right? At 6%, you're probably going to lose out a little bit at the end. Not true. So $240,734 over the other brokerage, $232,655. You made more money, and you have a full service brokerage, which, you know, I really do find it hard when the discount brokers say that they'll do everything that a full service broker will do. The amount of marketing that goes in, that we put in, that comes out of our pockets, we don't get paid until closing. There's no upfront fees, nothing, at least not me personally, and a lot of the agents I work for. That's not how the business is done. But not just marketing, the negotiations, the being with our clients, being there at closing, whether they're there or not, you know, the constant representation. We're there for everything, and it's usually the agent, the actual agent in a full service brokerage, not a, you're not talking to a assistant, right? But either way, you walked away with more money. Awesome. But that's not all, right? I always got a little extra for you guys. All right, so let's talk about the average days on market. You got 60 days on average for what we'll call the discount broker, because we're using all of Metro MLS, but again, I'm just showing you comparing two different animals, right? So we're going to use our office at 27 days and MLS at 60 days. So between those two, you can assume that Shore West, a full service brokerage, is going to sell your home 33 days faster than the discount broker. And so what does that mean? That means money saved in tax prorations, okay? Because every day is another dollar amount towards the tax prorations at closing. So if you take those 33 days that you sold your home faster, you're making, well, let's say here, let's say taxes were $4,500. Boy, I struggle. Okay, so let's say your taxes are $4,500. They're $4,500 annually. So $33 would save you. I think it came out to about $407 in savings just on selling your home faster. Which, who doesn't want that? Doesn't matter though, because again, you're making more money going with a full service brokerage, in this case, using these averages. So again, what I'm showing you is the rate doesn't necessarily mean everything. You have to take a lot of things into consideration. The quality of the real estate agent that you're interviewing. You want to know their track record, right? You just want to know the rapport. How available are they going to be to you? All things to consider, and ask them. Ask them if they know their numbers. And then you can do your own math when you're sitting down with a realtor and make that decision to see what are, by average, your best chances of getting the most money. But then what are you willing to give if you are going to go with a discount broker as far as for the rest of that transaction? So I encourage you all, I just wrote a blog post on my blog site, RankinKnowsRealEstate.com. I recommend you check it out. It's discount versus full service brokerages. So check that out and reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to talk. I'm always happy to talk with you guys, and I thank you for your time today. Bye now.